Welcome to Keyframers, the animated collaborative coding live stream where we bring imaginative user interfaces to life. I'm your host, Stephen Shaw, but you may know me as @Shashaw.
And I'm your host, David Khourshid, also known as @DavidKPiano.
Together we are coding compadres, animation amigos, Boolean buddies, and keyframe companions.
Yeah, we'll be creating an animation from scratch live using HTML, CSS, and between 0 and a lot of JavaScript, but maybe 0.
Hopefully on the 0 side. This show
maybe negative JavaScript.
What was that?
Maybe negative JavaScript.
Negative JavaScript.
We'll just delete it from somewhere random during our coding.
Or just put it in the HTML.
Oh, we could do that.
This show is made possible by your support. You can pledge at patreon.com/keyframers and join a bunch of cool patrons there, or hit the like and subscribe buttons around the video to help us out.
And make sure to ask questions and talk to us during the stream. We're happy to answer any questions that you may have, or concerns, I guess, or comments, or anything like that.
Anything in between we are open to. So yeah, how you doing, David?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I am doing all right. Yeah, kind of a heavy weekend, but charging ahead, trying to go through all that. Yeah, I'm excited to do some animating today. We've got a pretty cool animation.
Yeah. Speaking of animation, I just saw this thing today called SVG Artista. It's really cool, and I'll actually post it in the chat. It's made by Anna Travis, and if you remember, Anna Travis made Animista, which is a really cool way of previewing just various different CSS animations and being able to tweak them to your liking. And so now you could do the same with SVG animations as well. So it's just this really cool free thing that I found, and I just wanted to bring awareness to that.
Yeah, it's definitely super cool. You may have to adjust your SVG a little bit to get the strokes just right, but once that's set up, it's super cool. Yeah, svgartista.net.
Yeah, and we might play around with this next week or something.
I'm sure there's plenty of animations that can utilize that. All right, but yeah, today we're working on a animation called Website Menu Animation for Reform Collective by Truman Halliday.
Yeah.
There's the link for that if you're following along. So it's just kind of a menu toggle animation that brings in some text, and it's got that nice little split background-y effect. And then some nice hover animations.
Yeah, this is nice. We haven't done a menu animation in a while, so this is going to be a lot of fun. And also, this is a GIF. So
yes, we can
could probably use a GIF scrubber to just inspect this. The one that I like using, I linked below. It's a GIF scrubber where you could just right-click and be able to scrub through the GIF. It's really useful. It takes a while to render, though, but I mean that's just dependent on the size of the GIF that you use.
Yeah, waiting on that to come through. I think this GIF is actually huge, like size-wise, and so my browser is choking.
Mine too.
But that's all right.
But at least I have it loaded. So
yeah, I've got it pulled up here, and wow, that's very slow. But okay, so the basic idea: we've got the split background coming in, and then a little bit of a staggered text effect, where the different lines of the text come in slowly after each other. There's that Reform Collective.
So we have basically two states, the menu state and the website state.
Right. Right. So clicking the menu icon or whatever will kind of trigger this animation. We've got like the hover animation within there, and then the text slides back out, and the animation kind of reverses. So yeah, there's a lot we can do with this one. Let's get into the code, shall we?
Yeah, so let's call this whatever, sites. And then maybe we do have 2 screens, I guess.
Right. So like nav and
yeah,
main.
nav and like a main.
Yeah.
Darn it. And so the nav will be where our menu is, and the main would be where the homepage is, or whatever you want to call it.
Right, so yeah, we live in the details. And then for nav, we'll have 4 nav items, work, about, services, contact.
Yeah, so we can make this like an H1. And then main.
This would probably be a UL.
50%.
Actually, let's utilize that fantastic multi-cursor. If you hold down Alt or Option and drag your cursor, you can write across multiple lines, which is super handy. So this can be
All right, so we have our layout almost. Oh no, I messed up. Position. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do your grid trick. Grid, display, grid area. No, grid columns. 100%. I completely forgot how you did this part, but whatever. Rows. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then yeah, that's just grid area 1 1. Did I? Okay. 1 1. What? Okay. Fine.
Yeah. Just it's essentially equal to that, but just much easier to type, and then the value is exactly the same. So
yeah, but my issue though is like, so this site div, it should be like the entire web page, right? But each of the things inside, solid blue, is not. Oh wait, just kidding. Mm-hmm. It is. All right. Yeah. So my main elements that should we live in the details should be further down. But oh wait. All right. So what I'm trying to do, I completely forgot the CSS property for this, but I want to align it to the bottom, like align its like something like align self
and
or
or align self center.
Well, no, because so imagine this being split in half. Should I put rows here? Maybe I should have put rows. So no. Columns is wow.
What part of the animation are you?
No parts of the animation.
You're just talking about the layout.
Oh gosh. Okay. So I'm a dummy. This is grid template rows. I keep forgetting the difference. So the align cell should be bottom, or just kidding, end.
Well, do you need to adjust this?
Yeah. And then grid row. Geez, I keep getting those confused. Okay, so grid row is for the vertical. Grid column is for the. No, that can't be right.
Grid columns go across horizontally. Grid rows go vertically.
Okay.
Yeah. Think about the classic Greco-Roman column. Those kind of go across like that, and then a row like you're rowing a boat down the stream. David.
row my boats.
Right.
Got it.
Row down the stream. Down the stream. Columns. Greco-Roman. Sure.
All right.
Yeah. That'll make sense. All right. So let's go ahead and do main background black.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
All right, black and then color whites, right?
yeah, I don't know why I was alternate between name values and hex values.
Let's put this in the, like, all right, yeah. So main, all right, we could say padding like 10 feet min, just having even padding like all the way throughout. Cool. And then so the H1 itself could be font size, let's say 10 feet min. Let's say how big that is. Boom, big. Loving it.
It's very big. We could probably base that off the viewport width if we wanted to.
Now it's even bigger.
To make it one line.
All right, fine.
Let's see, and then it'll, yeah, just all stay together there. All
cool.
right. Easy enough. So instead of the grid layering, I'm actually gonna it would be better if the navigation was just position absolute over the content.
All right, fair enough.
Because the content we want, you know, if we were doing like articles and things like that, the content would actually scroll. So we can still do display grid, I think. Just to have that, and then let's see, let's do equals menu. Let's go ahead and separate that. Menu, position absolute, top 0, bottom 0, all that business. And then for now, we'll do visibility hidden.
Right. Now, how do we want to tackle this menu thing?
See, this is where I'm okay with just a tiny bit of JavaScript rather than doing like a checkbox toggle, because it's really mostly about just that class change. Like you want to be able to toggle a class.
All right. Well,
now we could.
Let's remember we want to stay away from classes and.
Sure. Data attributes. Yes.
So data state equals. Well, whatever. And so the reason I'm doing data state is because, like, even though, like, let's say we do any complex animation in the future, we could have many states there. That state can include menu. So it's like whatever state it's in, it could also be a menu as well. So we could use a attribute selector, which I don't think we've used yet. Or we might have used it, but it's the actually, let me just look it up before I make a mistake.
Attribute selector. You mean the square brackets?
Sort of. Whose class attributes contain the word. There's actually a lot of different attribute selectors, so picking the right one seems suffix followed by value, white space separated, one of which is exactly, that's the one I want. Okay, cool. And yeah, that's what I thought. My mind's sort of blanking today, but we have data state equals menu over here. But instead, we could do data state tilde equals menu. Now, there's a very subtle difference in here. That means that if the data state is menu, like we'll see right now, then we see the menu, right? Mm-hmm. But if the data state is, I don't know, menudo or something weird like that, then it's not going to be active. But if the data state is something like foo bar menu, then the menu is still going to be active. So basically, it's if that data state attribute contains the word menu, not the string menu, but like it has to be a white space separated word.
Yeah, and what are the advantages here over a class toggle?
All right, good question. So with menu, we could have the data state, like, let's say that we're doing some like, let's say that our data state is, we're showing some sort of intro screen, but the menu is also open. Now we could do the same advantage of like just doing datasets.data state, like just changing whether menu is there or not. Or actually, maybe we could do like a data state menu. I don't know. I'm just introducing the idea of having that be part of the data states and having the data state representative of, that whole or that one thing.
Yeah.
And so, all right. So for example, I got a good example. So let's say that the data state is intro and menu. That means it's both in this like intro, like one of the states is intro and the other state is menu at the same time.
Yeah. See, I would basically split those out into two. So like data view or data content equals intro, and then data menu equals true or something like that.
Well, let's do that. So we could have data menu. And so over here, we could say data menu. And then to toggle it, we could just give it whatever value we want. And to hide it, we just delete it. So simple as that.
Yep.
All right. Sorry for overcomplicating it. That's what I do best. I work at Microsoft. That's what they teach us to do. Just kidding.
Let's see. So now site menu. So we're still doing that. So let's see. Do this within here, and then we need background black up here. Okay. So I made just a little menu button here. Let's see, this will be class site header, and then menu button. Okay, so let's just do const l button equals document.query selector menu button. And then l button add event listener click. Add a little function here to just toggle l apps or l site document.query selector id site l site dot dataset dot menu equals the opposite of l site dataset menu. So this should toggle that back and forth. Let's see.
If you could click it.
Yeah, so data menu is. Let's do that. Okay. Yep. Okay, so that works. I just need to adjust some z indexing stuff, but that's cool. All right. Site menu visible. Top. Let's. Okay. Top 100%. Okay, the problem is site menu needs to be back out here.
How are we going to ensure that that nav is the full width and height? Because right now it's in the header, which
right. So I broke it out of the header there for that reason.
Yeah.
So that
Nice.
So that it will fill the entire container there. We just have to make sure that the site header is above that. So site header will give a z-index of 99 plus 1. And there we go. That should be back and forth. So this should probably be data menu equals true. So I think let's see what's happening there on that toggle. All right, so inspect. So when we click our button here, It's just toggling from true back to false, but it is not interpreting that as... okay, so just add a little conditional here, dataset.menu, delete lsite.dataset.
Right,
menu.
Yeah.
Otherwise
equals true. Yeah.
Else.
Well, else. Yeah. Gotta add your else.
That should work.
Or else. There we go. Now it's toggling.
Wow. Look at that.
Wow.
Animation done.
Beautiful.
Wow.
I mean, you can't get much better than that.
Yeah.
And now we can get rid of that equals true.
Yes.
So let's see. We have nav solid purple. Yeah. Okay, so it is full height. We are good there. So let's see. Work about services contact. What we could do, since we want to sort of do like a dynamic, a dynamic layout based on the navigation elements we have, is we could use Flexbox. So our nav UL or all could be display flex direction row, right?
Sure.
No,
sure.
Column. I don't know why I'm getting column and row mixed up today.
What are you trying to do with those? Because they do need to stack vertically.
Right. So I want to give this like a height 100%, and I want each one of those LIs to be the same height. So.
Oh, right.
Right. So justify contents rather. Justify contents like stretch, space between, something like that. Oh, just kidding. So each LI has to be flex basis. Well, no. Flex grow 1. So we want to be able to grow. There we go.
Yeah.
And that looks about right. Yep. And so we also want the text inside to be centered. I don't know if we had to wrap it with a span or
so what the text inside to be centered. Well, they're all left aligned. It's just that the UL is a little bit over. So I think we can do this with display grid. So one thing I was going to add is something like.
Well, the thing is, they have to space out and be dynamic. Because what if we want more list items, right? What if we want more nav content? Then we have to, change the CSS, which we don't want to do. We want, whether it's 5 or 6 or 20, we want it to adjust accordingly.
I'm not sure that I follow what you're.
All right, are you trying to hard code the fact that they're 25% height? Because we're not going to do that.
No. The font size is just to get them large. So what I was going to do is set up a display grid for the site menu. Why are you doing all this up in nav? Get out of here. Element selectors. Blech. Okay. All right. So ULLI. Got that. So what I was going to do is display grid template columns. One FR. Grid template. Let's see. We don't need any rows. And then what we'll do is menu title will be grid column 2. There we go. Align self end.
Okay.
I don't know why that grid template.
It's artistic.
Yeah, what's happening with that? layout there. And check it out in debug mode. We can figure out what's going on. Okay, so site menu, grid template columns, grid template rows. Why is that being overwritten? Template should just be 1. Can you see what's happening there?
No, I'm not sure what you're doing.
Grid column, grid row.
Site header, site menu.
There we go. Okay. Justify self and yeah, there we go. Cool. All right. So now we've got the beginnings of that second column animation feel. Width. And we'll get back to that after a little while. First, we add a background 444 to that to just help. Yeah, let's see. It looks like you are starting on the split animation. Okay. 50%. This should be left 0 for the before. Needs that. Cool.
And so they'll all just, come in. So data menu, we could say that at first,
It'll be transform, translate y, negative 100%, and then transform, translate y, 100%. And then in our toggle down here,
we should have site, not data menu.
Oh, you're doing it that way?
Yeah, because you just want to be explicit about, which state you're in.
This is a family-friendly stream, David. We are not going to be explicit.
We should be explicit.
Oh, all right.
PG, whatever.
And before and after. Those will be split up. So basically what we're doing here, transform, translate y, negative 100%. We're doing that kind of bar animation from the background. Translate y, 100%. And we need to add a transition to these. Transition.
Just transform,
Var duration.
All right, I'll add some variables.
Add those for us, please. And I'm going to go ahead and add data menu to the container so that will help. Do visibility hidden.
Cool. Well, there we go.
Okay, since we're being explicit, go. And let's give that a try. Nothing. Okay, there we go. All right, so one thing we do need to do is add a transition with the visibility. So we'll do site menu, transition, visibility, var duration. Actually, it'll be 0 seconds, linear, var duration, and then no transition delay when it's becoming visible. All right, and that's a trick we've done before, where we're animating visibility, which is something that you can do. That allows us to give that intro and outro animation while still toggling with visibility. And hey, we've got someone who did a version of our animation recently. It's quite nice.
Without CSS, or sorry, without JavaScript, rather.
Yeah.
It's great. It's important to note some key differences, like why you would use this is for the nudging nav bars or nabbing nudge bars, well, whatever the episode's called. That episode
Navbar
is
nudging.
whether the things you're animating are dynamically sized or statically sized. And so for dynamic, that's when you would want to use JavaScript to avoid being complicated. But in this case, you could use like the same width, and so it works out great because all you have to do is a little bit of math, and things work without JavaScript.
Yeah, and it looks like there's some hard coding of the values in Sass, but that's a great opportunity for those CSS variables to be used. Perfect for index CSS variables like we often do. Yeah, I dig it. That's a good version of it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for sharing, Alka, Jacob Foster. All right. So getting back to it here. Speaking of CSS variables, let's go ahead and add some and show a little bit of how that works. So style equals --i, just for now. That will be 1 here, 2 here, and 3 here. And then we'll do style equals total 4. All right, and so that gives us the CSS variables for the menu items to do some staggering. So what we can do here is I'm going to move this up to here, and we'll do, all right, so that's the background. We'll do menu item, transform, translate x, -100%. And then, yeah, okay. And then just make sure those are transform none down here. Transform none, and back up. Let's see. So one thing I'm doing is just moving these transition declarations down here so it's a little easier to follow. Our duration, our using, and then transition delay, we will do calc, do something like 100 milliseconds times var I. And this will take that CSS variable in the style and use that to create a transition delay. Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's already working. That's great. We might need to shorten the duration of that transition delay. So one thing we'd want to do is increase the duration, increase the delay when they're coming in, because they come in after that that background animation, and then we'll keep it as a shorter animation, a shorter delay on the var duration plus seconds. That should do it. Whoa. Did you mess with the layout?
Yeah. So let's see, grid template columns. Yep, I did indeed.
Okay.
It was me.
What? David, I need you to learn CSS Grid, okay?
I know. I am totally drawing blanks.
Okay, so stop. Grid row 1 should do it.
Right. Yes, and I got the column right though because I want it to be like offset to the side. So at least that.
So that's what padding is for, David.
No.
Yes.
Well, so
Okay.
I'm avoiding padding because we have something that on the bottom right that doesn't necessarily adhere to that padding. So it's more aligned in a grid, that reform collective at the bottom right, and also the logo at the top left. So
right. So you're basically just trying to use an empty column to pad it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that should be working now. We can probably add another one of those to give a little extra space in between the two. We just gotta bump down the sizes of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure.
Oops.
Justify self is more what you want.
Probably.
Okay, justify content stretch. We probably more want justify content center. And then we've got the flex grow there. Okay, these display flex justify content.
Oh.
No, align content center. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. All right.
Wow,
Centering in
just run through
CSS.
the properties, and then you'll find one that works.
So what David was doing there, what we were both doing there, is getting the text to be centered within each of these LIs. We have the LIs all spread out along 100% of the height, but the text within them was top aligned. So if you add display flex and align item center, you end up with that. Thanks for following, Lone Wolf. Okay. So let's see. We've got the text staggering, which can be adjusted. Looks like we may need to do some fading there too because of how the padding happens now. Yeah, it needs opacity anyway. So down here, duplicate that. Opacity for duration for easing, and we'll set those to opacity 0 when we are not in the data menu. Yeah, that works. We should probably set overflow hidden on site menu because I'm getting some weird scroll bar deals. Yeah, that helps.
I am diving into WebKit land for no reason, but this should be fun.
Get out of there.
No. Just you wait. This will be really fun. Okay.
Diving into WebKit.
I love it when we use new properties. Text stroke. Let's just call it green for now. Does this work? Yes, it works. So let's see if we do color transparency. Oh man.
So
yes.
I've gotten into trouble with this before. WebKit text fill transparent, I think is what we want. Let me look that up. Text fill.
And then we could do like a
color.
Cover. What?
Text. Yeah. Okay.
Text fill color white, and then right.
Right. So yeah, the difference there is.
Oh wait, just kidding. Oh yeah.
Color transparent will make that text transparent whether or not the browser supports WebKit text stroke, which means the text is completely gone. So by using WebKit text fill color, it ensures that the text is only transparent if text stroke is also supported, which is helpful. You could use SVG for this, as mentioned in the chat, but text in SVG brings its own host of problems, so I do not recommend that. So I'm going to add a data active class to one of them because this is more active. And my goodness, David, why do you keep targeting? So these are site menu. Let's see, menu item. Do that and that and that.
What are you doing?
Fixing.
Wait, where did my lines go? They're not supposed to be on top.
Yeah, I don't. You do top 50%.
Oh, wait, no.
Okay. Wait, where did our layout code go? We had, okay, that's what it is. So these, moving that, and that. Okay, so menu item, font size. There we go.
Oh my god.
Okay.
All right, cool. We have striker, but how do we make that so it's only the width of the stuff?
Only the width of the text.
Yeah. That has to be a flex thing.
Well, so in order to do that, we're going to have to wrap them in spans, and do the line.
We can't just do like a display inline flex or a justify. Oh no, hold on. If we do justify content flex start, like for just kidding, align items flex starts, then that could work because we have justify content center, which is correct.
That's for the vertical. So justify items.
Boom, got it.
Where did you add that? You are
in the UL. So
no.
The all above.
Oh, okay.
We have align items flex starts, and
that could also be justify self, but yeah.
Justify left. Okay.
All right, and then yeah. So what we'll want here is transform. How would you do this? Would you do this with scale, or would you do this with translate?
Let's do it with scale. And the reason why I'm saying scale is because we don't have to do that overflow hidden, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then transform none.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we could just add those.
Transition, transform, R, duration, R.
Look, I'll even put the extra colon for you. And double colon before.
It has purpose. Okay. So this should be scale X.
Scale X, like space X, but with scale. And
is that hovering a little flaky for you? Oh, it's because work is up at the top. We need to add a little. Let's say padding.
So Zindex. It's like Windex, but with Z's.
Padding.
Index.
Top. Sorry.
That's a sticker idea. I'm just saying that right now.
What'd you say?
Instead of Windex, Z-index. All right, I'm just feeling silly. All right, so we got some Russian in the chat. I have no idea what that says.
Yeah, sorry.
You know what? I speak fluent Russian, and according to my Russian skills, which are about the same as Google Translate, I recognize that to say 800K already on Tweak Online Classic. I completely agree.
I'm pretty sure that's spam. Okay, so we've got our intro animation.
Yeah. So
kind of.
TH3R1Z asks, for production, might you use SVGs instead? I would say no, and the reason is because dynamically adding text via SVGs gets really hairy really quick. And so with HTML text, you have a lot more flexibility for creating these dynamic layouts and adding dynamic content. And if you have to do things like translation or anything like that, HTML text is going to work a lot better, especially for screen readers as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. But with SVG, I'm not sure if screen readers read the text inside SVGs, or they
do, and you can augment it with title and things like that to actually make some really accessible content with SVG. A lot of times that is one of the best methods to use for screen reader friendly content, because you can, rather than using like an image or something like that, you can actually add a lot of that semantic value inside of the SVG
now
itself.
The interesting thing about WebKit TextStroke is that it is not part of the standards track, and if you look on the MDN web docs, you will actually see that it says non-standard in this big ugly red alerts, and I'll even link to it right there. However, it is supported in all browsers that actually matter. So that would be all browsers except for Internet Explorer. Now, for those of you saying, we need to support Internet Explorer. You have to ask yourself, do your users really need to see that, that text outline? The answer is probably not. So you would have some sort of fallback that says just show a plain white colored text filled thingy for the nav menu instead of the cool outline thingy that we have going on. So that's how you should be thinking about progressive enhancement and support, is that you can do these cool things even if they're not supported in all browsers, as long as it is a progressive enhancement from what is available in all browsers, such as standard text color. Or you could even fake it with text shadow, but I didn't want to go down that path because that's a little ugly.
Yeah, that used to be the way to do it, but that is not recommended anymore.
Right.
Okay, I added a few tweaks there. One thing I did was updating the transform origin. So by default, the transform origin is right center, or with reversed webcam, right center vertically, and then I changed it to on hover. It's going to be left center, so it'll be starting on the left side, and then and scaling in like that. And then when you hover off of it, it should go off the right side. But David is.
Did I mess it up?
Yeah.
Okay, because I had the transition property transform origin, but that doesn't seem.
Yeah, perhaps if it was reversed. So add that back in. If it was reversed, that might work.
Oops. Form transform origin. There we go. Except it sort of like sneaks back to the left, which there's worse problems.
It's looking pretty good to me.
Okay. Yeah.
If you hover on and off real quick, that's definitely going to mess it up. But either way, that would mess with it.
Yeah. In fact, specifying transform origin as a transition property does eliminate that issue of hovering over it and out really quickly.
Right. It at least prevents a little bit of a jump. So that's kind of nice. All right. Anyway, that's a small part of the effect. So let's.
Yeah. So let's see about this site content animation.
Wait. Did we? Okay. So menu item. That's we're doing the opacity as well. All right, so that should be good. One thing we can do there is actually invert var total minus var I, so that they go out from the bottom. Wait, let's see. Oh, they come in from the bottom and go out from the top. No, go out from the bottom again. Okay. All right. Wait, no, I'm playing it backwards. So, yeah, it comes in from the top and goes out from the bottom. Yes. Okay, so by doing that here, var total minus var I, they should go out from the bottom. Yep. There we go. And then new item var.
All right, so we're working on the menu right now. I'm just trying something real quick.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So the first time you get on this page, the we animate in the details will just shift up. So that's a pretty simple animation we have there. Oh wait, it's supposed to shift down. I messed up. Well, I missed down by messing up. Never mind. Ignore me.
Let's see.
Or, just kidding, we could just have this, instead of this animation, we could just do it every time. So when we go to the menu back, we could animate that header. So when the data menu is not visible, transform none. And of course, opacity will work. That. So now over here, transform trans y to 100%, and then we could just say opacity 0, opacity 1, and then we could that h1 transition all their duration var easing. Okay, let's try that.
What are you working on? Sorry.
The heading animation. So you see how it comes down smoothly?
The heading animation. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So where are you doing that improperly?
Improperly. No, I'm doing it in the States. So when we have not data menu, so when the data menu is not showing, then we want it to just to show normally. Opacity 1, transform. Yeah, transform none. And then over here at the bottom, yeah, we have it coming in from the top and 0 opacity. So it'll just shift back up.
Nice.
When, yeah.
Very good. All right. Let me clean something up real quick. Hold on just a moment. Right. Get that. Site header. Let's do display flex. Justify content space between. And that'll give us our line items center. That'll give us our nice menu button in the top right, as it's supposed to be. And then, okay.
And what is this keyframers thing? That's also an H1. What?
Right, that's why I was targeting a little more specifically. This could be a classical site title.
All right, so make that not an H1.
No. What are you?
I just want smaller.
Well,
that's a very
you adjust the font
the
size.
heading is that we animated in the details. H12.
No, it should be H.
We only have 6. You can't have 12 headings.
You're out of sync here.
All right, now it's H1.
Okay. So yeah, what we would just do, site title, font size, whatever, viewport width, and an extra in there. Yeah, that's all that's needed. Go.
Cool, and then we could do dot site title, whatever it so happens to be. All right, so man, sometimes I just want to apply transition to everything.
Yeah.
It makes things so transition property, transform, opacity. Yeah, because that gets cumbersome. So site content, and then so where's site's title? There we go. And this could even be moved out. So one habit that I found myself doing that I think is a good habit is when things don't need to be nested, just try to remove them from being nested when you can.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's see. So that goes there, and that comes in from the top, pretty much the same as the content. So we could just have that. And so now when we go back and forth between the menu, we just have that keyframers thing just sneak in.
Right. Okay. That's what. Yeah.
Now another little thing, right, so we have the site title, keyframers, we have the menu button, cool. How about a logo?
Sure. You
And
can work on that.
logos.
I'm gonna do that menu. Yeah, the menu title there. Fix that with some spans here, which have no semantic meaning whatsoever.
All right, so we had display flex, blah blah blah, flex space between. So instead, let's grid it out.
Well, no.
What?
No. I'm just against using grid for everything. So site menu, let's see. Oh, site header. So what you would want to do.
Well, we could use flex and then just do a flex starts and then
margin right auto. Bam.
All right, fine.
And then that'll push.
So then flex, yeah, that does.
Yeah,
all
flex
right, cool.
start. Yep.
All right, that works.
That's all you need. Okay.
Cool. So I named the logo goat, so we could just tweet that.
Hashtag logoat.
Or tweak that, rather. And yeah, so we could even have this be a margin right.
Hashtag logo.
1M. Just so that, you have to give goats a little bit of space, right? Goats are, they're fun animals, but they could get a little vicious at times. So anyway, when we're doing the menu, what happens is that the logo actually increases in size. So we want that logo to be transformed scale like 1.5. We want a bigger goat, really. I mean,
Well, you can always use a bigger goat.
did he change that to an ID?
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's
Because
still flat.
it's hashtag logoat.
Okay, fine. I will change it to an ID.
Get it trending, everyone.
ID, low goats. The opposite of a high goat, it's a low goat.
Logoat, yes.
And of course, we have to add those silly transition things. Transition, transform, their duration, their easing. Cool. Let's see what happens if we make the goat bigger. Okay, yeah. So, font size, what's like 5 V-min or something like that. Cool.
There you go. Tweet along with us.
5 V-min looks pretty good. Maybe we could add some padding to the header as well.
I already did.
We'll do it again. More padding. There we go. All right, cool. So we have our expanding logo.
Nice. So beautiful. All right, so menu title. What am I looking for? Okay, I want span display block. And then we'll do that down below. All right, so that's each of those items. So down here in our animation, we'll do menu title span. We'll just copy this here, and then do transform, translate x negative 100%, and then we'll do and nth child odd, transform, translate x 100%. I think that's wrong. It probably needs to be even. Do you always confuse even and odd? I do.
Oh yeah. Okay. I confuse them every other time.
There we go. All right. And then, that actually should be in here. Title. And after this, I think we'll keyflect. So let's see. That works. Kind of. Title. Span. There we go. All right, and we'll add opacity 0 in there as well.
Cool. I'm satisfied with my grayscale logos.
It's beautiful.
Thanks. Made myself.
Okay, let's probably probably set
Oh, so the keyframers on the bottom right. I think we should probably add an animation.
That's what I'm working on.
Gotcha.
If you click back and forth, it should be working.
Maybe I just need to refresh. Wait, no, it's still.
Using there. Yeah, so we're working on this this fancy dribble animation. You can find the link in the
But it does look like a site that we might make for ourselves. Except, what services will we provide? We could do animations for people. But...
Yeah, maybe list some merch. That's what all the people want, right?
Right. All right. You know what's funny?
What?
I think CodePen is trolling me because I just changed my editor layout, or I just refreshed, did a hard refresh on the entire thing, and it changed my editor layout to something completely different.
Did it now?
Yeah.
Well,
like not even the one I was complaining about before. Anyway.
Okay. Well, you should file a ticket. Those
I need to talk to someone who works there. Seriously.
Oh goodness.
All right, so I'm seeing a 2 for the right next to the button. Let's see what's happening
right
there.
next to the button.
Oh yeah, there we go. All right, so that's fixed. Menu.
You are in collab mode, right?
Yes, should be.
I'm just trying to refresh. I don't actually see you in the.
You don't?
I don't see you working now.
Who are you, my boss?
Before, after.
Do you see me in the collab mode now?
Where are you? Or where should you be?
Good question. I'm in the HTML, and if I am indeed, you should see me do a display none, or I could have scared you and said I deleted all the code.
Yes, you are in the CSS. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I live. That's my home.
Okay. And the keyframers, the menu title can actually be color black. So that's what's happening here. And then font, weight, bold, like 900, something like that. And line height is more like 0.9. Display.
Five. Cool. So now we can get rid of that. Or let's make that bigger. Always gotta make things bigger. Okay, cool. We got a nice big menu-y type of thingy. That's
Yeah, you wanna wrap this up here?
Sure.
Okay. Once you stop breaking everything,
Never.
What are you doing?
All right, cool. We are good.
Are we?
No.
It is not working anymore for me.
Okay. Try it again. Oh, well, so the keyframers animation, the bottom right, doesn't quite work. But
no, I'm not getting the menu toggle anymore.
Really?
That's not working. Yeah. What did you do?
Just hard refresh.
Hey, this is risky.
Yeah, you definitely don't have the up-to-date stuff. So I'm going to copy my stuff and.
Yeah. Let's copy everything and refresh here real quick.
Oh boy, moment of truth.
Okay.
So you should see the button has a different appearance.
Okay, yes. Yes, a strange appearance, but an appearance nonetheless.
There we go.
Okay. Why is it so
cool.
tall?
Yeah.
All right. We'll work with that. Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Let's go into some Keyflections here, shall we?
All right.
We're now moving into Keyflections, a quick review of the techniques used to build this animation. If you have any questions, now is a great time to ask in the chat or leave a comment below, and we'll be happy to answer.
Also, if you've enjoyed watching this so far, you could follow and subscribe here on Twitch or YouTube, or pledge at patreon.com/keyframers. Links are available below.
Get out there and do it.
Yes.
All right, so today we were recreating website menu animation for Reform Collective by Truman Halliday. It's a wonderful little animation with a lot of great details. We mainly focused on this kind of menu transition effect. One of the ways that we would recreate this. So we ended up here. So I'll break down the HTML real quick. We've got a container for our site. We've got the site header that's just the logo, the text, and the menu button. Then we have nav, which is our site menu, and this is what actually animates in. And then we have our site content, which is really just this H1 here. So yeah, you broke something with my menu title animation. Let me.
I tend to do that.
Let me fix that real quick. Title.
No
span.
problem.
Is that working? I don't know what the display block. Title span. Yeah, that's strange. Not sure what's happening there. I'll go back and fix that after the fact. But we're using JavaScript as just a super simple toggle. You could do this with checkboxes if you want, but really that's not helping anybody. It's really best if you do some kind of data attribute toggle. That's the approach we like best. You could do it with classes, but data attributes are a lot more definitive. You can only be in one state at a time. So we're toggling a data menu attribute whenever the button is clicked, and then in our CSS we target that specific attribute because it can only be on or off.
Right.
We've got not data menu where we hide the menu with visibility hidden. We've got our before and after, which is the split background that are translated off in opposite directions. And then each of the menu items is opacity 0 and off to the side. And then all the other animations. And then when data menu is active on the main element, then the menu becomes visible. You get the before and after translating in, and all the other animation aspects happening there. So yeah, would you like to cover the hover animation?
Yeah, so the hover animation with the menu items. This is a technique. You can't just do strike through, right? You can't just do on hover, apply strike through. Instead, we want this dynamic strike through thing. And so we have to get a little bit tricky with pseudo elements. We have the before elements simulating that strike through, and we use display inline flex to make sure that that goes only to the width of the word. Now, to actually get the effects without having to do overflow hidden, we used transform scale instead of transform translate X. And so what that allows us to do is just scale it from either the left or the right. And that's exactly what we do. So the other interesting thing is that we're animating the transform origin as well, so that when you hover in, it's coming in from the left. But when you stop hovering, it's exiting from the right. So it scales in from the left, it scales out from the right. And you can animate transform origin. So that's a pretty cool little tidbit right there.
Yes. Yeah, that text fill color and text stroke are a great way to get that effect in an accessible way. If you do color transparent, that can really mess with browsers that don't support that. So do go ahead and use those if you're going to attempt this kind of look of the outline text. The little keyframers in the bottom right, that's just some simple spans that are set to display block. So they go on a new line. They've got a transition applied to them where they're just translated off in opposite directions based on nth child, even and odd. And that just toggles on the actual menu, the data menu attribute. Let's see. Yeah, we kind of mentioned the background. That split background effect is actually just pseudo elements. So on our site menu here, we have two pseudo elements, the before and after, and they're just 50% width, so that each takes up part of the screen. And then down in our menu toggles here, they're translated off in opposite directions, so that whenever the data menu attribute is active, it becomes they become offset. Oh, what are you changing? Okay, there we go. All right. So yeah, that's got it. Question in the chat. So nth child is 0 indexed? No, it is not. But so I did the even and odd here. So let me see where I did that. Nth child. Where am I? Nth child even. So the second item. So nth child 2 is even. Which 2 is even, 1 is odd.
That makes a lot of sense. Imagine if we had even and odd, but we had 0 index. That would confuse a lot of people. So that's, that's one of the little known reasons why I'm glad that CSS is 1 indexed.
Yes. Yeah, that definitely works. Typically when I do the indexing with CSS variables, I do 0 indexing because that just makes a lot of the math make a little more sense sometimes. So you'll see that most of the time when we do that effect. All right. Other than that, it's just some transition animations, toggling kind of from one state to another, and when they're all put together, it ends up with a pretty solid little effect.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else?
I think that's all.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us. You've been watching Keyframers. If you've enjoyed this episode and would like to see more from David and I, there are many ways you can support us, the primary being subscribing at patreon.com/keyframers. That really helps us keep going each month. So check that out, patreon.com/keyframers. You can also like and subscribe at youtube.com/keyframers, where we'll have this episode and all of our past episodes up for you to enjoy. And thank you so much for subscribing and participating in the live streams, those of you who have joined us. We greatly appreciate that.
Also, we do accept submissions for future episodes. So if you don't want us clamoring at the last half hour before the episode, figuring out what we're going to animate, tweet at Keyframers with any animations that you would like to see made. Although it is really fun to just come up with an animation on a whim. You could also present questions or challenges to us, and we'll try to answer them on the air. So please be sure to share this video and demo across your social platforms, so at least other people can make recommendations.
Yes, we greatly appreciate that. So yeah, check us out, and thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, adios, amigos.
Adios.